Not all storms come to destroy. Some come to clear the path. But when you are in the middle of it, when the winds are howling, when the rain won't stop, when the ground beneath you feels like it's breaking apart, you don't always see it that way. You feel lost, you feel betrayed, you wonder how you got here, why you didn't see the signs, why the person you trusted most became the one who hurt you the deepest. Today, we talk about Naomi, a woman who thought she had found love only to realize that she had built her life around a lie. Stay with me.
Don't play with it, don't be dishonest. Still not.
Naomi had always believed in love. She had always thought that when you give your heart to someone, when you stand by them, when you pour every ounce of yourself into them, they will see that love and honor it. She met Richard at the time when she needed love the most, and he gave it, at least. That's what she thought. He was everything she had ever prayed for. Kind, attentive, reassuring. When he held her, she felt safe. When he spoke, she believed him. He wasn't just a man. He was her angel then. But sometimes, the ones we think are angels are the very ones who bring us down. Because Richard was not an angel. He was a storm in disguise. And Naomi didn't see the storm coming. It started with the lies. Small, almost insignificant. The late nights, the excuses, the phone calls he wouldn't answer in front of her, the phones he would turn upside down, and all of that. She pushed aside the doubts. She told herself love required patience, that maybe she was overthinking. Then she got pregnant, and everything changed. The man who had once held her, wiped her tears, made her believe in forever, looked her in the eyes and told her, get rid of it. She thought she had misheard him. What? You heard me. You need to abort it. She refused. She carried her child despite his rejection, despite the nights he disappeared, despite the coldness that replaced the warmth in his voice. She gave birth to a little girl, her miracle. And for a moment, she thought maybe, just maybe, Richard will change. He didn't. Months later, she found herself pregnant again. And this time, Richard didn't ask her to abort it. He forced her. He made her feel like she had no choice, like the life growing inside of her didn't matter, like she didn't matter. Naomi had never in her life aborted a child, never thought she would. But the pressure, the emotional torment, the threats, the isolation, it broke her. She lay on that cold table, staring at the ceiling, feeling a part of her being taken away. And when she walked out of that clinic, she was no longer the same woman. Something inside of her had died. A piece of her she never had seen or been able to reclaim. And Richard went on living as if nothing had happened. He continued cheating. He continued lying. He continued having more children with other women, one after another. And every time, Naomi would receive the dreaded phone calls. I'm so sorry, but I just found out about you. I thought I was the only one. He told me he loved me too. Each confession, each woman, each child born outside their home was another stab to her heart. And yet, when she finally gathered the courage to confront him, to bring up every betrayal, every lie, every wound he had inflicted, do you know what he did? He laughed. He mocked her. You're being dramatic. This is just how I am. If you don't like it, leave. No remorse, no guilt, no shame. Instead, he lashed out. He threw insults, raised his voice, humiliated her for daring to question him. Naomi stood there, shaking, realizing in that moment he never loved her. Not in the way she loved him, not in the way love was supposed to be. She had spent years breaking herself to build him up, and he has spent those same years tearing her down. For so long, Naomi felt like this man had come into her life just to destroy her, that he had been sent to break her, to strip her of her worth and make her feel like nothing. And maybe, for a while, he had succeeded, because this kind of pain, it takes people down. This kind of betrayal, it drowns people in depression, in despair, in hopelessness. But Naomi did not drown. She found solace in her faith. She realized that the same God who had brought her through this would carry her through the rest, because she knew this could have been worse. And maybe, just maybe, this wasn't happening to her. Maybe it was happening for her. Maybe she was meant to survive this, to rise from this, to one day turn around and help another woman who was drowning in the same storm. Maybe this was not the end of her story. Maybe it was just the beginning. Now let's talk about potatoes, a simple, humble ingredient left in the darkness for too long. It begins to sprout, it begins to rot. But throw it into boiling water, add heat, pressure, and patience, suddenly it softens, it transforms, and it becomes nourishing. Maybe that is how healing works too. Maybe Naomi was placed in the fire so that she could come out stronger, softer, and wiser. Maybe you are in the fire right now, and maybe, just maybe, this is not your breaking point. Maybe this is your transformation. Advice for anyone going through this. If you're listening to this and Naomi's story feels like your story, please hear me. You are not crazy. If your gut tells you something is wrong, trust it. You cannot love someone into changing. Love is a choice. And if they keep choosing betrayal, that is on them. Forgiveness does not mean you have to stay. You can forgive someone and still walk away. You are worth of a love that does not hurt. You are not alone. No one deserves to beg for loyalty. No one deserves to be broken just to make someone else whole. If you are in this situation like Naomi, please choose peace. Choose freedom. Choose the future you deserve. If this story resonated with you, if you know someone who needs to hear this, please share it. And join me every Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. UK time for our live conversations with our guests who share their own journeys, their pain, their resilience, and their survival. You are not alone. Subscribe, comment, share your story, because this storm will not break you. This time you are rising.